Hello, this is Brett Lonsdale, and I'm going to show you how you can remove DeliverPoint 2007 from your SharePoint 2007 environment. As you can see from my screen, DeliverPoint 2007 is currently still installed. The easiest way to remove the product is to ensure that you're logged on as the user who originally installed the product. If you don't know which account this is, then you'll have to follow our manual uninstall steps, which are downloadable from our website in the support area. And to gain access to that, you go to lightningtools.com, click onto support, DeliverPoint 2007, and the link that you're looking for is the manual uninstall steps. So, first of all, I'm going to close my browser window and run the DeliverPoint MSI that was originally used to install the product. If you no longer have this MSI, then you can still download the trial version of DeliverPoint 2007 from our website. That will give you the same MSI within the zip file, and all you have to do is simply execute that, and notice that you can choose Repair DeliverPoint 2007 or Remove DeliverPoint 2007. So I'm going to choose the option to remove DeliverPoint 2007 and basically click Finish. This is going to run through a series of steps, and included in those steps is the removal of all of the WSPs from within the environment. It's also going to get rid of any JavaScript files that are installed within the 12 Hive, and it's also going to remove any DLLs that are installed within the global assembly cache. The final thing that it will do is remove the DeliverPoint database, and once again, this is one of the reasons why it's a good practice thing to do, is to make sure that you're logged on as the user who installed the product, so that we can ensure that that user actually has the permissions to create and remove databases from your SQL environment. Okay, so you can now see that it's retracting the DeliverPoint 2007 core solution. It's removed that solution, and then it went through and deleted the database. It now says that the installation is complete, so let's hit close, and we'll launch our browser window once again and navigate to the portal where I had DeliverPoint installed. And I'm going to choose Site Actions, and notice that the DeliverPoint option has gone, the database has been removed, and so on. Okay, many thanks for watching this technical screencast on how to remove DeliverPoint 2007. Hello, and welcome to the screencast on how to install DeliverPoint 2007. DeliverPoint 2007 is a very easy product to install. The one thing you do need to make sure, though, is that you've read fully the installation and architecture document that you can find within inside the zip file that you download from our website. This is the DeliverPoint 2007 trial zip file. Within that document, it will describe the hardware requirements and the software requirements before you install DeliverPoint. This will make sure that your environment is capable of crawling the Active Directory that you may have within production or your staging or development environment. To go ahead with the install, the first thing I'm going to do is go to the folder that contains the deliverpoint.msi utility. I'm going to run that, and you'll notice that it takes us into the Welcome to DeliverPoint 2007 setup wizard. The first thing that we do is choose Next, read the EULA and choose I agree, and then choose the folder where you would like to install DeliverPoint. I'm going to select the default and choose Next, and then Next again to begin the installation. So DeliverPoint 2007 has now been installed on the computer. We're not finished yet though. I'm going to choose Next and hit Close. That's installed all of the binaries. The next thing we need to do is run the configuration wizard. The configuration wizard is launched from the Start menu. You'll notice that under All Programs, DeliverPoint is the DeliverPoint configuration wizard. So we're going to select that, choose Next, and we need to enter the service account and the password that we wish DeliverPoint to run with. Now this is very important because we need to make sure that whichever account we choose, that account requires permissions to crawl the Active Directory, and that, when I say the Active Directory, I mean all of the domains that you wish to crawl. And if you do have multiple domains, you need to ensure that there's a trust set up for that account inside all of the Active Directory domains. We enter the password, make sure they're correct, of course, and then we enter the server name, and then we enter the name of the database that we wish to be created. So I'm going to call mine DeliverPoint. I choose Next. It mentions that this may take as long as 15 minutes. I'm going to choose Next again, and notice that it goes through and it sets up the database with inside SQL Server. For DeliverPoint, we do require SQL Server. It won't run on an Oracle environment. It's now adding the solutions. These are the WSPs that get deployed to SharePoint, and those WSPs are then going to be activated. At the end of this configuration wizard, there's going to be two procedures that run, and these are going to do the initial crawl of your Active Directory and your SharePoint environment. It's very important that those initial crawls are not interrupted. Obviously, it's one of the things that we do when we've installed a program is perhaps restart our machines. We don't do that here because otherwise we will interrupt those two crawl processes. So the best thing to do is just let those crawls begin, and understand that those crawls may take quite a while to run, since the size of your Active Directory and the size of your SharePoint environment will have a bearing on that. Okay, so the configuration is complete. I'm going to hit Next to continue and choose Finish. And if I choose Start, the control panel, go to Scheduled Tasks, you'll see that there's an initial interrogation and initial auth store interrogation as well. These are the scheduled tasks that you need to let run and crawl. You can see that the initial interrogation is already running within my environment. We need to let that finish, and at the end of that you'll be able to use DeliverPoint successfully. Hello and welcome to the screencast on performing the post-install routines, having just installed DeliverPoint 2007. DeliverPoint 2007 is now completely installed and configured, and what you'll notice is by choosing the Site Actions menu, you now have DeliverPoint 2007 options, including the Discover Site Permissions and the DeliverPoint 2007 dashboard. You'll also notice that DeliverPoint options appear elsewhere through SharePoint. So, for example, if I go into a list or into a subsite or anything, you're going to see DeliverPoint options in there as well. And clicking onto my announcements list, we're also going to see some DeliverPoint options at list level and even list item level. So throughout SharePoint, in any web application where DeliverPoint was actually installed. So DeliverPoint appears on the settings menu and also on the items menu for each option. Before we begin using DeliverPoint, there's a couple of things that you may want to have in place, and we're going to set those in place by opening up SharePoint Central Administration. In SharePoint Central Administration, you're going to find, as well as having the Home, Operations and Application Management tabs, that you have a new tab called DeliverPoint. And clicking onto the DeliverPoint tab, you'll see that you've got two sections of options. One is DeliverPoint Configuration, the other one is Module Management. Under DeliverPoint Configuration is the database settings. The database settings was set during the install and configuration of DeliverPoint. However, you can come in here if ever you want to move the DeliverPoint database. You can point it to a different SQL server and also set the database name. There's also the DeliverPoint service account. Now, it's important that this DeliverPoint service account has read permissions to the Active Directory domains that you're going to crawl, and it also has what we recommend is farm administrator permissions, so that it can crawl all of the permission settings throughout each of your web applications within SharePoint. Going back to the DeliverPoint option, you'll also notice that there's some license information. The license information is required if you decide to purchase the product. What you need to provide us is the installation ID, and once you've provided us with the installation ID, we're going to respond with a license file, and that license file gets copied to the C program's DeliverPoint folder, and that new license file will be detected the next time the interrogation process runs. Also under DeliverPoint is the tree view settings. So the tree view settings allow us to set how many segments we would want to display at any one time inside the tree view, and it also allows us to restrict the tree view to just site collection administrators. So a lot of these tasks are useful for non-site collection administrators, i.e. site administrators, but if you want to restrict it to site collection administrators only, then that's something that can be performed. The last option under the DeliverPoint configuration menu is threshold settings. Now this is useful for being able to explore some of the properties about your sites and site collections. It shows us how many sites are small, medium, large, aging and old. So these values allow you to determine what is going to be small in your environment and what is going to be large in your environment. So we have the web application thresholds, managed path thresholds, site collection, site and list thresholds in there. The last option is the permission settings. Now it's important to set a replacement user. The replacement user account is used should you remove an account, and this is via the dead account removal or also removing permissions on an individual user. You can ensure that if that user account is an owner of an object, such as a site collection owner, then a replacement account will be put into place. Now if you don't set that, it's going to be the account that DeliverPoint runs with is going to become the user who is now the site collection administrator. So you can set an alternative account if you wish. We also have domains to exclude. Many companies have multiple domains and not all of them are going to be used by DeliverPoint. However, DeliverPoint will address the global domain catalog and will begin to crawl any domain that it finds inside the global domain catalog. So one of the things you can do here is exclude multiple domains using the format shown below. You can always check whether your format is valid by using dsquery from the command prompt. Permissions module operators, that allows us to list users that are able to perform all the tasks using DeliverPoint regardless of their permissions to the site itself. Now this is useful for example if we have a user who works in a help desk environment and it has the job of copying permissions to new users, but we don't want that help desk person to actually be able to see the content within the sites. We can restrict them to using DeliverPoint to do a copy permissions without giving them full control to the site itself. So choosing OK to all of that, once you've configured these options, DeliverPoint is ready to go.